Real estate, property insurance, it's gone through the roof. Property insurance over the last 5 years since I really started investing in multifamily has more than doubled. Some people say it's because of wind and hail in Illinois. Other people just say stuff's more expensive. But we've seen a run up all over the place when it comes to what they call habitational insurance, meaning insurance for rental properties. And today I want to talk to an expert in those so that you can save money and be more profitable. Hey guys, my name is Jay Lehman. I'm with eXp Realty. I'm a licensed agent here in Champaign, Illinois, and I help people from all over the country, near and far, get rental properties that cash flow. And one of the most important things to understand how to make rental properties cash flow is getting a handle on your expenses. You know, your mortgage, your taxes, and your insurance are things that you have to have. Especially if you have a loan on the property, you need insurance. So how do we actually keep that insurance down when we see insurance rates skyrocketing? Well, I'm glad you asked. And if you got a comment, why don't you comment below about what your experience has been with insurance rates? But I brought an expert in, and that's Jake Wallace. Jake Wallace is an insurance agent here in Champaign County. And so, Jake, I want you just to start by saying how you got into insurance and what has kept you in insurance the last couple of years.
Yeah, so I was in the bar restaurant industry for over a decade, actually, and Prairie Land Insurance, Steve Henson, owns the agency. I met him in 2016 as a patron at the restaurant I was working at, managing, and we kicked it off right away. He wanted to hire me 2 weeks after we met, and I was loving the situation I was in, so I didn't join right away, but COVID hit. I couldn't do the restaurant thing anymore. I reached out to Steve. I said, are you still looking for someone to do the selling, the selling side of the insurance? And he was. So we got into an agreement, and I was doing it part-time at first, and then it kind of took over. It kind of took off. And so I've been doing it full-time for 4 years now.
And there's all kinds of insurance out there, right? There's life insurance, there's car insurance. But for this video, we want to talk about property insurance, right? Because if you have a loan on a property, you are required to insure that property. And what I have seen is with single families, but especially multifamilies, 5 units above, man, insurance has just skyrocketed. Why has insurance increased so much?
Claims. Companies in Illinois are actually not even insuring the state of Illinois right now. It's unprecedented. Last year, I read an article. Last year, 2024, Illinois paid out 33% of the nation's claims, and that's majority is wind hail claims. So new roofs for everybody basically is the answer to that question.
So in Illinois, it's been difficult with insurance. Talk about the different types of insurance. Really, there's two types, right? There's replacement value, and then there's actual cash value. What are the differences between replacement and actual cash value?
Yeah, replacement cost is what would it cost to build this structure brand new? So you have a cost per square foot, and typically depending on what the building is, we say it's around $200 a square foot for replacement cost to start. And some companies make you even go up to $300 a square foot. So that's kind of what replacement cost is. And then actual cash value is what is the structure worth, materials minus depreciation. So, if you have a 60-year-old building, they're going to take off depreciation off that, and it's not market value, but what is the bones of this thing plus everything that's been done to it actually worth as it sits.
So above $1 million apartment building, and I have it insured for replacement value, and let's say that $1 million apartment building is 10,000 square feet. What kind of check, and let's say I bought it for $1 million, but you're going to insure it for more than that with replacement costs.
Yeah,
because you're insuring it
typically. That's not always how it works, but typically.
So if it burns down, and it's, let's say, $200 a square foot, and it's times $10,000.
Yeah.
10,000 square foot.
Yeah.
So I get a check for $2 million?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, kind of. So the first check you're going to get is actually the actual cash value, the second type of insurance we got. Any other check that you get, you're entitled to that from replacement cost, but any other check you get is going to be received after the work's been done.
After you've replaced the property.
After the contractor has done whatever.
Okay. So how does actual cash value work differently then?
You only get that first check. You're kind of on your own for the labor and paying for it. If the cost of the new materials is more than your check, that's on you. However, that being said, those claims are a lot easier to deal with too. than the replacement cost claims.